What's up, guys? I hope you're all having a great day. Today, we're back with a couple of Chumbi Valley updates. So, Chumbi Valley made a couple of massive announcements over the last 2 days. We already knew that the hatch was happening in January. Of course, on the 20th of January, they're gonna reveal the seeds and we're gonna see what actual Chumbi are in the seeds, which is awesome. But more than that, over the last 2 days, they made two massive announcements. So, one of them being the APR staking and one of them being the breeding that we're going to be able to do when holding the Chumbi tokens. And of course, they also have a couple of competitions going through in January. So we're quickly going through all this and seeing what is going to happen with the price of the token itself, what we can expect with the NFT price to happen, and what the overall progression of Chumbi Valley is actually going to be within the next couple of days, weeks, and months of what we can expect at least. Of course, staking 200% at a 200% APR is a pretty massive amount. Now, we don't really know if they're going to be able to keep this amount up. Also, we're not really sure yet of the exact details of staking. So this might be, I've heard, or that there's going to be three options: staking 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. So this might be the amount if you would stake it for 12 months, which is of course a pretty long period. So when staking for 3 or 6 months, it might be lower. We don't really know yet, and of course they might change the setup a little bit, but they will fully announce this and set this in motion over the next couple of days already. The cool thing with this is if you do hold the actual Chumbi Valley NFTs and you want to be part of the breeding, or you just like the project, you want to be in it for a little bit longer, then it does kind of make sense to stake your tokens. My strategy is not really to hold tokens for too long. I usually trade quite a lot. I trade quite quickly, but because I do really like the whole overall project of Chumbi Valley, I hold a couple of these NFTs and I want to be part of the breeding. I'm probably gonna have to keep my tokens for a certain period. So why not stake it for at least 3 months, right? The price is sitting pretty low right now, so it's a pretty easy entry point to start staking your tokens if they're gonna announce it within the next couple of days. Hopefully, you will be able to use those tokens that you have staked for the breeding, because you need those tokens to be able to participate in the breeding. It would be awesome, it would be fair, I guess, if you can use the staked tokens for the breeding as well. But staking at a 200% APR gives us a massive, massive, massive return. So 200% APR, I usually just use a simple APY or APR calculator. Simple interest, because we don't know yet whether there's going to be a compounding effect in that or not. If we have to stake it for 3 months, it's probably locked for 3 months, so there's no compounding effect in there yet. So we would stake it for 3 months. Let's say we have a $10,000 investment over 200% APR. Of course, 3 months is one fourth of it, so we earn a 50% gain, which is one fourth of 200% interest rate. What does that mean? If we would stake this for 6 months, we would earn $20,000. If we would stake it for 12 months, we would have $30,000, which is a simple equation, right? It means that our $10,000 will be worth 30,000 at the end of the 12 months. Now, I'm not gonna assume that most people would want to stake it for 12 months. Some do if you're very heavily involved in one single project. But even with just 3 months and staking for 3 months, especially right now with everything that's happening on the market, with the whole crypto gaming scene exploding, staking for 3 months doesn't seem like a bad deal. Earning 50% on your initial investment, that's not including whatever the token itself is going to do, that's a pretty massive gain. I think that's a very good deal. Maybe again, interest rate might be a little bit lower, APR might be lower if you stake it for only 3 months rather than 12 months. But with the price sitting now at just over 8 cents, 8.1 cent, it had a 10% gain when the announcements came as of yesterday. It's a pretty low price. It's a pretty low entry. I believe that for the competitions that are coming up, you only need 500 or 1,000 tokens. So to be able to participate in all the competitions, that's barely anything to buy into. As you can see here, as the announcements came yesterday, it did jump up a little bit. Only 10% is not that much yet. I believe that if we're gonna see a couple of these announcements actually happening, when the staking is actually set up and people see the rewards of it, people know how the breeding fully will be set up, how many tokens they need, etc. Then we might see an increase. Of course, the breeding event or the hatching event on the 20th, it's all gonna be a lot of exposure to people waiting for Chumbi Valley to kind of take off and to pick up some speed again. Why is because we did see, of course, massive gains on the initial token launch, right? Did 143x, I believe, from the original price when it launched, but it slowed down a little bit after that, which you see happening with most projects out there, most gaming projects out there. 99% of all the launches of new projects, new not only games but launch pads, just other projects itself as well. 99% of them they fly up to I don't know how much. There's massive returns on the actual launch at the start, and it kind of slows down again. What people are looking for here, because this is a good entry point now, right? What you want to look for in a project is sure it shoots up. You never want to invest when there's all the hype of the actual launch, because you know that you're gonna be one of the ones that's buying in a little bit too expensive. You always want to see it slow down a little bit afterwards, and when it's kind of in that calmer water again, that's a good entry point. And when do you want to get into? When you know that there's going to be movement, when there's announcements, when there's things happening with the NFTs, with the breeding, with the staking, etc. I think, in my opinion, right now would be a good entry point within Chumbi Valley. We can definitely expect a bit of movement upward over the next couple of weeks when these things actually do start happening. So as for the staking, we don't really know anything else other than it's going to be a very high APR. That's APR. That's going to be 3, 6, and 12 months. At least for now, they might change the duration or they might add something in it. But what we do know, which is very important, is that it is going to be a single staking, simple liquidity staking. You just only have to put in your original Chumbi Valley tokens, and that's it, which I'm very happy with. Some projects only allow people to stake, and like you have to stake it to another token, so you have to provide liquidity for two different pools, which is very annoying. I would never do something like that, but this is definitely something that you can easily do. Don't look at it anymore. Let's assume that the price is gonna go up 20%, 30%, 50%. Aside from your APR gain, I think you're in a very good position if that happens, right? Then, as for the breeding, there was a lot of speculation, a lot of discussions happening about the breeding itself. People didn't want to lose the value of the Gen Zero tokens, right? So the Gen Zero or the Gen Zero NFTs, which is the Chumbi seeds that have just been launched. If we quickly would look at, I think we can get through here on OpenSea. When we look at the prices of the NFTs that are happening now, they've actually done very well. So they went up, they were very stable, they didn't really have any drop downs, which is a pretty good indicator from the overall belief and faith in the project, I guess, the excitement around the project. Why is because usually when things take a little bit too long, and they did take their time for new massive announcements, price starts dropping. People don't really want to wait for that long anymore, and people want to get rid of it, take that profit, and either come back later on again or put the money into something else. But as for Chumbi Valley seeds, the floor price right now is close to zero point 0.6. So the cheapest one out there is 0.6, which is the rare one, or the epic one, not the rare one, the green one. Lowest price, close to 0.6. They were, I think they were like $200 if you wanted to get one. I have it open here. Chumbi seed sale. You can see the price of the token when they were releasing them. The insane thing with it is that they had like a 9 or 10x already on the price after they launched straight away, or 7 or 8x, and people were buying into it as fast as they could. Still, I was one of them. I bought in straight away after it launched. I paid quite a lot of money for it, but I just wanted to make sure that I was one of the guys that was able to get one of the mythical ones. So the price of the mythic kind of stayed the same. If we look at the list of the price of the NFTs when they did launch, if we can find that article, then we would see, no, it should be this one. We would see that the prices were, here we go, very, very low. So the rare one was only $300 at the launch, right? That took me a while. $300 at the launch, which is like 0.06 to 0.08, depending on what the price of Ethereum does. But you can see how much that actually went up. That's close to a 10x, like an 8x on the floor price on the original one. Then if we would look at the next one, which is Epic. Epic was $700 to get, and right now it is sitting at close to 0.9, so 0.87, which would be, it's close to, like, let's say $3,300 roughly right now, $3,200. So that one would have been a $2,500 gain on your Epic one. Legendary, similar. I think the last time I checked, the legendary was sitting at 1.1 Ethereum. Right, so that one went up quite, oh damn, that one went up a lot. So close to 1.6 Ethereum, that will be 3,800. That will be like $5,000, $5,500 probably, if my calculations are right. Um, Legendary was $1,500, so you would have gained like $4,000 on here, probably. Is that correct? What we're saying? One is 3,800 plus 1,900. No, it's more than that. It's above $6,000. So you would have gained like $4,000, $45 to $5,000 on only one legendary, which is awesome, right? And then as for the mythical one, that one didn't move too much last time I checked. So it was sitting at around 5. Yeah, same thing, sitting around 5. I got mine for 5 as well. It dropped a little bit. So after it launched, they were selling it for around 5. That went up to 6, went down to 4, but now it's back at 5 Ethereum. What can we take? What can we learn from this? It means that people are believing in the project, they're confident about the project, but also that they don't really want to get rid of that Chumbi Valley just in case the value is going to go up a lot more later on when the project is actually evolving, when the project is actually going to go, the game is actually going to go live. So that's a very good indicator on the overall trust in the project and the people holding it, right? Now the only one thing that we need to know is what type of, Chumbi will we get? Is it going to be one of the top ones or not? There's 4 tiers: tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Tier 4 being the highest one, which you can get when you have a mythic. There's, I think, a 20% chance that you can have one as well when you have a legendary one. And you can have a shiny or a mini, which is the most rare ones. So now we know kind of what the situation with the breeding is. You need 2 Chumbis to be able to get a new one. So you have Gen 0, which is the ones that we have now, the ones that have been sold already, the one that sold out in 4 minutes, and you will be able to get a Gen 0, right? Oh, here was a link as well. So you will be able to get a Gen 1. So you get a Gen 1 NFT that is not going to be as powerful, as good as a Gen 0 one, but will still, of course, be a lot of value within the game itself. So as we know, you got an email, everybody that has ever put down the email, they sent you this email about the 2021 recap as well, but they send out a competition list. So there's the hatching event, which is then happening on the 20th. After the 20th, we know what Chumbi we will have, right? And then a little bit later after that, we're gonna know exactly how to stake it. I've asked the question on or how to breed them. I've asked the question about to breed them. The way it's going to be set up is you need their original token, but you also need crafted items, and we don't really know what crafted items are yet. They're in development now. They're building up. They're developing it. So I quickly asked in the Discord, and the answer was this: crafted items used for breeding are in development, but will require using our secondary token. So you need the secondary token with farm produce to create recipes specific for breeding. So you're gonna need that secondary token, which you can have by which you can get by having an NFT or probably staking the original token as well. And eventually, by using that, you can create the crafted items, and you can use these crafted items for the breeding. So there's a little bit of time in between the announcement that's been made now, the fully set up announcement where we know exactly step by step what to do, and probably actually being able to breathe. We can definitely expect to wait a little bit for that to happen, but that's fine, right? In the meantime, what are they doing? Pretty awesome. They've got a couple of competitions where they're giving away these NFTs. So, as we know, to celebrate the hatching event, which is happening on the 20th, they're having four competitions giving away four NFTs, of one of them being a mythical one. Um, so here's what you need to do for that. In short, the Seed Chumbi Pot hatching event is on the 20th. Here you can see the 20th. What does it mean? So they're the number one top spot on Polygon NFT collections. They quickly had it within the first couple of days, or even the first day already, and they kept their spot. They're listed on KuCoin, of course. We already knew all that. One thing I'm very excited about is to know when the next big exchange is coming up, whether it's going to be Gate or Binance. I think that's something for Chumbi Valley. They say they want to be one of the biggest ones. They're picking up a lot of speed, so we need to watch out for a couple of small little things that they might say where we can pick up some information from whether it's going to be a new listing, yes or no. All right, so the competition one, random draw, is going to be a rare one. So we already knew the rare one was the lower one, right? So that one is now valued at close to, oh no, hold up, my bad, sorry. Yeah, no, that's correct. So the rare one, what's going on here? It's not, here we go. Low the high. Here you can see the rare one is the lowest one, close to 0.6. So we know that the first one is going to be a rare one. What you need to do is very simple. It's going to be a Gleam competition where it's going to be happening on the 10th of January, which is in 5 days. Pretty simple. The deadline is, so it's going to be a week which you can participate. The announcement will be in Discord itself, but it's probably very simple. You need to fill out a couple of tasks within Gleam, either follow all their Discords, all the social and stuff, and put your address in so they can see whether you have an NFT or the tokens, yes or no, and then it'll go in a draw and a winner will be announced randomly. Number two, guess your Chumbi code. So this one will be on the 14th of January, just a week, a couple of days before the actual hatch of the NFTs. So you need to know what type of Chumbi code you have. Every single Chumbi will have a couple of different specific, codes and trades, etc. So you need to guess yours within the 3 days that it's open. If you get it right, you also win one of the rare NFTs. You also need to hold 500 tokens. So that's why I said I expect the price to go up a little bit. Holding 500 of these tokens is not really worth a whole lot, but if a lot of people participate, the price will start moving. People will FOMO in a little bit. There's going to be exposure. There's going to be movement. Volume is going to go up. So it's not just the people that are going to buy into this that's going to make the price go up, but kind of the effect around the whole competitions and the whole movement, the whole hype around what's happening with Chumbi itself. You can expect the price to at least go to like towards 12 to 16 cents, I guess, which is still a 50 to 100% gain. Not within January already. Maybe we will if we're lucky, but at least over the next couple of longer term weeks. And then important notice, the wallet address you provide should be the one that holds your seed NFT and your tokens. So as for the NFT, it is in your Ethereum wallet, and the Chumbi is going to be in your smart chain wallet, right? So if you want to participate in these things, don't buy it through KuCoin, but buy it through PancakeSwap, because they can't check your exchange wallet. They can only check your MetaMask or whatever type of wallet you have. So you need to make sure that I hold my NFTs in MetaMask and I hold my tokens in the smart chain wallet, right? So if you don't, you can't participate in the competitions. Very simple, cool. Competition 3, here is again a rare one. Oh, my bad. Was the previous one a rare one as well? Yes, a rare one too. Competition 3 on the 18th of January. How much do you know about Chumbi Valley? So that's going to be a quiz. I think a lot of people in the Discord are going to smash this. I don't know if I have a chance. I don't even know if I want to participate in it. Some people are active in the chat every single day. I don't really have time for all that. But they know all the ins and outs. They know all the details. But of course, if you want to win, Just participate in the quiz, see if you can have the highest scores, hold an NFT and hold the tokens, and then you have opportunity to win. Now this one is a little bit more interesting because you can win a mythic one, which is valued at 5 Ethereum, which is now close to $20,000. So they're giving away an NFT valued at $20,000. Um, if 1,000 Ethereum is reached in sales on OpenSea, which they did reach. Have we got it open here? Yes. So they have already traded 1.3 thousand Ethereum in volume. So requirements is own a Chumbi seed, so you don't have to own a Mythic one to actually win one. You need to hold 1,000 tokens, which is like $800 right now, and you have to enter competition 2, which is the Chumbi code. You have to guess the Chumbi code here. You don't have to actually have it right. So I think they mentioned it here. Yeah, even if you don't guess your Chumbi's code correctly, you're still will be able to participate as long as you entered that competition. So that's pretty awesome, right? If you win a mythical one, I think you're going to be very happy with $20,000. So here's where you can buy your Chumbi, KuCoin, PancakeSwap, Orion. Again, if you want to participate in the competitions, don't do it through, or just do it through PancakeSwap. Here is a little bit of the list of what's happening. So that's pretty interesting. Of course, that's pretty awesome. So now we kind of know what to expect and what's going to happen. If you're interested, if you want to know, there's of course a 2021 recap where they kind of go through what's been happening over the last couple of months in 2021. They've went through it very, very quickly. Of course, the progression went very quick. So it's a classic 2D RPG game like Pokemon. That's where they inspired by. Eventually, this is going to be, of course, a metaverse 3D, very realistic type of game. But before we see stuff like that happening, we might have to wait a little bit longer. In the last 5 months, they've signed 5 experienced advisors, one of them being from Rosian Finance, I believe, which is like one of the launch pads. They've gained more than 1 million total followers on all their socials. They have multiple competitions, which they're going to continue with already. They've completed an oversubscribed private sale raising more than $300 million. What's very interesting is what became the #1 Polygon NFT project, of course, which is good for exposure. They donated money to the typhoon problems that were happening, so they did like a donation there, which is awesome. And then other than that, of course, we already knew that the all-time high was 143x. So the private sale round was very successful. The NFT sale was very successful. They sold out in 4 minutes. The token sale was, of course, very successful as well because they had an all-time high of 143. They have an awesome community. People are very active in it. I think that goes to show the effort that the actual team puts in as well. Because you need to get moderators, you need to pay people to be moderators, etc. The more you pay them, the better they are usually. And you need to have, as a team itself, you need to keep people active and engaged and excited, especially if you have to wait pretty long for the next big thing to happen. We had to wait like 2 to 3 weeks for the next big thing to be announced, which just happened now. But we have to wait another 2 weeks for the actual big thing to happen with the review of the Chumbis. In the meantime, sure, we have the competitions, which is cool, but we're not really in it just for the competitions. We're in it for the NFTs, the tokens, the money we can actually make from it, the progression of the overall projects, right? So what is next? The Chumbi Valley community and seed NFT holders are excited for the Chumbi seed hatching event on the 20th. So we already knew. Collectors and Chumbi fans are eager to catch the first glimpse of the 4,096 highly unique Chumbi seed NFT designs. And then they're going to give away 4 of them. They've also announced the staking. So here in this article, from when is this article? 3 days ago. So in the 3 days, yesterday they announced the staking on their Twitter, and instead of 150%, they've made it 200%. Does that mean it's definitely going to be 200? Nah, they might change it to 150, of course, but let's be optimistic and assume that they're going to have at least one option for 200% in there. By staking your Chumbi tokens, and January will hold many surprises as the team announces new partnerships, game developers, progress, Chumbi Valley related activities and events. So that's all we gotta know. That's all we know now, but it is very promising. Of course, next thing we're interested in is if there's gonna be another listing coming up, yes or no, which is gonna be the next push up. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm very curious to know whether you think that these announcements were positive, if you were optimistic and excited about the announcements, or whether you would have expected and hoped a little bit of a different announcement or a different setup of the announcements. Please let me know in the comments below. Other than that, if you could hit the like button and subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.